All right, you're on.
What's up, Mariah? What are you doing?
Hello, Shane. How are you?
I'm good. Actually, let me switch it back, Mariah. So, can you hit my screen because I don't like it this way?
Okay.
My camera for me, and let me switch it back because I don't like not being able to talk to you or see you when I'm talking to you. I feel like I don't know what's going on.
You want it this way?
Yeah. So just take my screen off real quick,
Oh, okay. All right.
like my camera, so I
Yeah.
didn't have to do that. Wait. Now I got to fix it. Well, no need to take it off now, Mariah. I've already
I
done it.
can't.
I'm sure that makes for good YouTubes, right?
I can't
You're
take
all
it
right.
off. I can only exit you from the
You're okay.
studio.
You probably would have kicked me out, huh? Sorry, guys. We're trying to find a decent spot. Gosh darn. Hold on. Not quite done. Gosh. Till I get my studio up, which I'm kind of procrastinating on. I think that's better. Just hold on. Let me pause my screen. You talk to him, Mariah.
Okay. Hello, people, everyone. How's it going? Hope you guys are
All
doing
right, we're done.
good.
That's enough. Stop talking your ear off, Mariah. We're good.
Yes.
All right. Holy shoot, man, this sucks. Welcome to this professional edition. At least I'm out in the middle of nowhere, huh? So, is this better?
It looks
Does
good.
this look all right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Have you, have you caught yourself up on any of the UAP news, UFO news?
Um, I got caught up a little bit yesterday during a UAP Med meeting. They were talking about the Mexican UFO hearings and stuff, but that's about
What
it.
do you What do you think about that?
Um, I don't know. I think the mummies thing was weird, and I guess apparently a lot of the people that were there didn't know that they were going to be bringing out those little alien mummy things. So
Surprise, dead
yeah,
aliens!
yeah. So I don't know. I think it was weird.
Everybody probably waiting for ooh and ahs, and I was just like, I saw something funny on Twitter. I don't know who the hell put that. Maybe it was Jess. It was something like all of UFO Twitter be like, bringing us, show us the bodies, and not those bodies.
Yeah, yeah. Different ones
Yeah, I'm hurting today, man. I was moving to shit. I'm using a cane today in the works.
because of your hip.
Yeah, yep. So I got to get that either ripped out and replaced with a cyborg one, or probably just have it replaced with a regular one. I could probably do that too, but I
Cyborg
don't
one would
know.
be cool. You could kick indoors and stuff.
Yeah, yep. It's not too bad out here today. Actually, I was out, last night's probably the first night I came out, and it was late. I was hurting, and came outside to kind of look at the sky. Holy crap! You can see everything here.
Yeah, there's not no
So I
there's no light pollution.
no,
That's
not
cool.
really. It's a really nice spot. So I don't know. I had something I wanted to discuss. Oh, so what do you think I should focus? Okay, so I've got, like I said, all this other stuff going on. I'm just getting my toes back in the UFO UAP water. What do you think I should write about or focus on? Like, I have some ideas of stuff that I like. And like, I really like the. I shouldn't say like. Crash retrievals is something I like and enjoy always. But besides that, like MK Ultra type stuff. So hell, there's a reason they had a church committee. We had these programs, and I don't think they ever stopped.
Right.
I'm I'm super interested
Have
in the
you
whole.
have you do you know about the whole like targeted individuals community?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
That might be something kind of cool to look into.
We could do something on that too. But I also want to start interviewing people. Sorry, that was a bee. There's lots of them around here. Ninja stuff works on these bees. Just so you know.
Step closer to the
Uh,
camera.
Too close,
No, that's good. Like,
right there.
yeah.
I can't really see it. I'm on my mobile studio camera, which would be my phone right now.
I think your
I don't want to mess
signals
with
your
stuff.
signal's a little bit weak because you're kind of glitchy, but it's okay.
Is it any better?
Now it is, yeah.
Okay. Well, hold up. Maybe it's because I had two of you running. Yeah, it's not like I said in the middle of the island. I don't know that. So look, there's not a very good track history there with what happened down the people who brought out the aliens, Jamie, and so I get all that, and like Dr. Nolan said, no matter what, that stuff wouldn't pass the muster, but get into a scientific journal.
Right.
So that being said, until all evidence and stuff is in, I guess don't weigh anything. Like there's lots of stuff I used to think I know, and I now know I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. So I often people jump on this stuff pretty quick, and
How do
I
you
laugh
fact
and
check? Like,
how
what
do
do
you
you,
fact check?
yeah, like, what's your personal procedure
Oh,
for?
are you kidding me? That's the thing. We're in something where the facts are almost flexible. That's a hard one, right? So to fact check in this, what you need to do, I guess, just sources, multiple sources saying something is about as close as you're going to get to having an eyewitness account and things like that. The only fact checking you could do is what David Grush was talking about. That's information, because there's a whole chain of custody with what was said and who it was said to and the paperwork and where that goes within the government. So it's a hard one to fact check until this comes out in the open. And it's only going to be out in the open when you got people writing about it and researching it. Get away, B. Researching this stuff. I'm really interested in the programs we had to develop, well, to make super soldier-ish people. Like they could time travel, they could psi abilities, all that kind of stuff. I'm really interested in that kind of. So I'm thinking I'm going to write about that as well.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. It's interesting, and I know a lot of people would like to hear what you have to say about that. You're good at doing the research, so.
Yeah, I just suck at putting it back out there. I like to hold it. It's mine. It's my research. I also want to write about Yakima Valley, or at least put together a video. But what I was going to say is interviews. I want to start interviewing people, so I'm going to start reaching out to other people, not just UFO celebrity people, just
Just
pretty
people.
much anybody. Yeah, I like anybody that I think. I don't know. I want to pick their brain. I think they got some good ideas, or perhaps they do something I find rather interesting or would be hard to do, such as a mortician. I don't know how you compartmentalize shit like that, right?
Yeah,
Things, stuff like that, or a radio host or things like that. People sometimes I also like to ask people, really get into how interviews about how people got into the topic and why they're so into certain topics.
right.
Not just UFO celebrities, but people in the community as well.
Yeah.
So I thought about doing one time. I thought, you could probably do a YouTube call-in show, and then poor Thomas Fessler. I saw what happened. Oh man, he had one, and people were trolling like a man. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't put up with that.
Society
I
is too
can't.
negative for that.
Yeah, I can't tolerate it. I've kind of been just doing pretty non-UAP stuff, listening to UFO books, which is what I always do. It's weird because no matter what I do, I think I just said this in a space the other night, I can't break up with ufology or whatever you want to call this. Every time I try, something happens, or and again, I think probably one of the most traumatic yet healing things I've been through is my experience and the direction I went afterwards. So it's kind of, because think about this, Mariah. You met me when I first came about, when I wasn't as super cool as I am right now. I like, it's all because of whatever, right?
Yeah. I think people appreciate genuine people and people that share their experience and don't hold things back, even though some of it might not be pretty, because that's how life
Genuine.
is, and people appreciate honesty. And
Yeah, but sometimes genuine could be considered crazy. Like, not everyone has the same experience. I get that, but not everyone has experiences like mine or some others that just happen and that make no sense outside of what the fuck. Like, I mean, if you think about it, outside of I hadn't heard about anything. Like, I wasn't a UFO nut fan, nothing. Didn't know what they were. But whenever I ended up finding out about them, right, I had no idea there's Chris Bledsoe's, which shout out to Astral. He just had a heist session with Chris Bledsoe.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
yeah, it is. It is cool. Mr. Bledsoe, I tell you what, one of the kindest men I've ever met in my life. He sat and talked to me. I remember, what was it? I walked up to him at Alien Con, I went to introduce myself because we talked on Facebook once, and he remembered me, my name and everything. And I was like, "Oh, dude, that's so cool."
That is.
He's like, "Hey, this is my friend Shane off Facebook." I was like, "Oh, we're Facebook friends. Hell yeah!" So, well, let me ask you this: would you be interested in doing some more? We haven't done a lot. I'd like to do some non-live content with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. We could do that. Different subjects or whatever. So I'll tell you what's super cool here. The beaches aren't only filled with sand, they're filled with flower gold.
I love gold. I love it.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Blue Bowl, weren't we?
Yep.
So
Yeah, we should do a gold segment.
we could shit. Well, speaking of gold, what do you think? You think UAPs, UFOs, NHI, aliens are interested in our precious metals?
Um, I don't know because I think that everything that we have here on this planet came from like out there in the universe. So I think that they could probably get it from other places too, but maybe
Mm.
maybe
Well,
they're
we'll find it.
maybe they're interested to see how we're using them.
Yeah, I know. There was a who was it that put this theory out? There was a precious metal theory that's one of the reasons because I think Earth is one of the rare with the amounts of precious metals we have. Hell, I'm a platinum gold fan, stuff like that. But I also happen to be seeing UAPs and stuff in those areas. And if you go down to like I think it's old Colorado, Utah area, and you
Yeah,
look at the old lore, the old gold miners used to say if you see a UFO, mark that spot. That's where there's gold.
really, that's pretty funny because I see actually a lot around here too, and I know that there's a lot of gold where I'm at. So maybe you're right.
Well, can you start collecting that? I need a new pair of socks. I tell you what, flower gold's the worst. I'm sitting on a crap load of it, but it's the worst to separate.
I've
The
been trying
worst.
for years and I don't have the patience is what I've decided. Like I need to classify it, I don't sit there and classify it down to like, so it's all the same grain and then put it in a little bit at a time into that little blue bowl and let it swirl around and around. I just don't have the patience. I'm always like fucking with the water. Like, I'm like, is it going fast enough? Like, and I just needed to leave it. I just needed to set it up, leave it, and like go away for a few hours and come back. But I can't.
Yeah, well, I've done that. You can't really go away for a few hours because you set it up. I have it classified, and then if there's any change in water speed, pressure, voltage, sometimes everything's gone. You got
Yeah.
to start over. So I'd rather be broke. I'd rather be broke. Hey, you know what? Actually, speaking of broke, my brain being broke, I saw something pretty cool today. I wish I had the link. I have you put it. Next time we'll show the link. It's a Veterans in Crisis. It's a organization, and what they do is, um, well, it's like how do I describe it? It's outdoorsy, but it's for veterans that are me, me, essentially, right? In this position that. And I thought, oh, how cool! That's exactly what I need. So I'm going to apply for that, and we'll put that on here too, so we can make sure they get donations and stuff too. Stuff like Wounded Warrior Project,
Yeah.
things like that are important because yeah, I get the VA, but alternative therapies, things like that. This Veterans in Crisis thing, it's literally the exact thing I need. And by that, just when we show it, you'll kind of understand. And it doesn't mean you're homeless or any type of positions. You're just, and it's perfect. So I thought it was pretty cool. Someone showed that to me. I was like, oh, I need to see that too. Oh, here's another thing that I forgot to tell you. So I got a message today from somebody I talked to a while back. It will be an interview for the channel. This is another reason I wanted to start doing interviews more. Just whoever I want to interview, I suppose, and throw them on there and have you do all the work. But
Yes.
Gwen Farrell, she's an experiencer and an experiencer support person. I met her down at UFO Congress when I was down there, and I wanted to interview her because she put together some. Got too far away again. She put together some sessions. They were like in-person experiencer session group
Oh, that's
sessions,
pretty
right?
cool.
So we could talk. And that's when I came back and I was all the rave about it when I was talking about it in spaces and stuff. So
Her name's Gwen.
interview, yeah, Gwen Farrell.
Cool.
Yeah, and I saw her again at Alien Con. I asked her, hey, we never got the interview. And so she just messaged me. She's like, yeah. And I think I'm gonna I probably should I should message him before I start shouting them out. Since she already did, I could do that. I shouldn't
Right.
start saying think I'm going to message. I'm going to put them on. You have to say yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Now you
So
have
it's,
to.
there's a couple people I want to reach out to because I have different questions, and a lot of these people, they do the rounds, right? And they go to the podcast, and a lot of podcasts have all the same questions, and I get all that. They want to hear the same talking points, all that. I don't. I have different questions about different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes they may not sound UFO related, but get there type things. Like most people wouldn't think mental health is. But again, shout out UAP Med, Ted Rowe, and all them. So all this intertwined, especially from my standpoint, consciousness, right?
Right.
I'm non-duality. So different expressions of the same thing. Whatever this is, I think, whatever we interact with, all of this is coming from the same place, just different expressions of that. So that's what you got. Astral travel. You've got this different psi ability, things that we don't quite understand. No way to explain it. Science. So did you know that like when a planet's aligned in a specific way, there actually is a detectable change, and science just doesn't want to deal with that because it breaks them. So that whole planetary alignment, was it cosmetology? No,
Yeah.
that's fucking hair, right?
Cosmology. Cosmology.
Cosmetology is hair. Bees. So these guys are aggressive here. They're super aggressive. If you see one come near me, tell me.
Okay.
But so that, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is this. The one I really want to do is it's so big in my head, it's almost daunting because I want to do one on like. Hold up. I thought the dog was barking. I'm dog sitting today. So about the Cosgrove mirrors, about time trial programs, Montauk chair, all these things that I think intertwined and kind of piggyback off each other that most people don't even know exist. And they get folded into programs like Operation Pegasus.
Right.
What's the other one? There's one with Pedro, Operation Super. I think it was Project Superman. And there's a couple others that I'm a little bit. I don't know if they're even real, but some variations of this existed, and that's what that Scott Andrews. And I'm obsessed with Scott Andrews. So literally that's what that is. The star. What's it? Star Kids? Space Kids? Space Kids? Is that what they call them? Star Kids. Damn.
Star Kids.
Thank you.
Star Seeds.
You're a Geller. Not Star Seeds. No, the different thing. I'm a Star Seed. That's a different thing. So no, these I want to say Space Kids. Star Kids. I'm confusing them because the way it works is this: we had programs to MK Ultra children, trauma and things like that, because we found it out they could communicate better with. There's a whole space communication program with kids.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, it gets weirder. Based on the Cosgrove mirrors, you got the Montauk chair, and then because there's science, the Russians did with this, right? And they talk about these mirrors allow for a connection to something, and when you stop using them, that connection continues, and that connection consists of NHI contact sometimes continuously on top of unlocking something like a Peter Tingle, a deja vu, or whatever you want to call it, right? Like having a sixth sense and that third eye type of thing. So yeah, that's stuff that's real and exists, and our government's done that. Hell, they're still hiding UFOs, so they're doing that.
What are these mirrors? What are the Cosgrove mirrors that you keep talking about? They're like actual mirrors, but they're made out of some kind of cool glass or what?
No, you can make them out of basically aluminum. So they're easy to make. Well, I guess not easy to make, but there's a blueprint out there and everything. And that's the thing. The CIA has paperwork about this stuff because they knew there was something to it.
Yeah.
And then you got the gateway tapes, which is something else. But these mirrors is basically what it is the design looks like, how do I explain it? Like if you draw a wave, right? Like a cresting wave that's getting ready to go over. That's what it kind of looks like, a spiraling mirror. And the theory behind it is this: it focuses time.
Huh.
So the way he thinks about time, it's twisting. Always wait, was that time or the? Yeah, space time. It's twisting. So this would focus it. And then they also found out that being in a colder place with freaking ice and what's underneath the ice? Come on.
Like Antarctica.
Yeah, places like that actually, that temperature and that freezes time or slows time or allows for more of that. And so that focusing that, whatever that is, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, allowed for the Russians. Instantly they started having contact with UAPs, started popping up over this town that had happened. And then they started allowing for them to, I guess, go places in their head. Well, not even their head, really go places, time travel, be places. And then they were able to actually materialize things, not just that they could see. They would see something, and then people outside the rooms would see things as well,
Wow.
the same thing. So this was happening with a lot of them. And one of the things they interacted with was, they call them in the book, the book's out of print, but you can find it on Scribd. So I'll have to try to find the name of it. Something about consciousness, but it talks about these white faceless figures, tall white faceless figures. Sounds to me like the tall whites are those interdimensional beings, right?
Right.
So, and they communicate with them. And there's several instances of symbols popping up. And you know what those symbols look like?
What?
Like some of the symbols we see on some of the craft. Also, like the man, I'm having brain farts today. So the Sumerians, the ancient Sumerian type symbols, right?
Oh, wow.
So things like this start popping up. UAP contact, and these UAPs were popping in at the same time this starts up. These tests, these experiments, and it was like they were looking for something, just keep popping in right over this town. And then the people, and oftentimes they were children, because they found out that children were more susceptible.
Right. They don't have that filter.
Yes, so they would have contact. They would time travel, and not just in your, like, we need to think of time as something completely different. Now, when I say time travel, we think of machines and things like that. If time is all happening now, all at once, everything, right? It's just a matter of perception,
Right.
right? Those type of things. So we're seeing it because our mind has us going one direction. So it's a matter of that access, and maybe that access is that. So our United States government, being the key geniuses that they are not going to let the Russians outdo them. So they end up doing their own thing. And it ends up being, everyone's heard of the Montauk experiment. Most of that's BS. The people involved are BS, but a lot of it is not. Matter of fact, David Grush talks about the Manhattan Project, right? Things like the Manhattan Project. And so we start back like at let me see here. Where do we want to start at? So if we start at just the chair, let's say that's real. That's based on the mirrors, right? They ripped off those mirrors and figure out a way to probably harness it in a way so that it's that chair and focuses the energy.
Huh.
Does that make sense?
It
Did I
does.
jump
Yeah.
around a little bit?
Yeah.
I probably did, because you know what? Today my medicine I didn't get my medicine this weekend, and it won't be here till tomorrow. So I'm like ADD rattling over here. That's why I'm like, let's talk.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
So this
Let's
chair,
make a mirror. Let's make one of the mirrors. If there's blueprints out there, let's do it.
there is blueprints. Well, check it out. These chairs. So there's a whole experiment that went down. This is supposedly, let's get it, allegedly. So the experiment went down, and when this happened, these chairs can open. Basically, it focuses enough energy that you. I saw a flash behind me. Did you see that?
No.
Before I saw one up in the sky. That's why I was like, I said that, and I was like, hey, what was that? It could have been a plane though, near Navy base. So, anyway, where was I on that?
I don't know. You threw me off.
Way to go. Anyway, they could open portals. Something came through. When I say portals, just think of them as, you've heard about them in Skinwalker's The Pentagon or Skinwalker book, right? And they talk about something opens up and something comes walking out, or comes out, no neck, looks like a dog man. And
Right.
you've got Axelrod and his wife and kids that say they saw something like that. NASA has shit. You can go to the website. Most of my stuff's on Twitter, so if you're not there, but they have X tubes, portals, like they're all over the place, places where energy and things like that change. So imagine being able to focus that, and then having the ability to access different points in time and things like that, being access to this NHI. Hell, they graduated from that. I'm sure the Montauk chair is just an afterthought at this point. I mean, that
Yeah.
was probably 1.5. Now they're on 2.7 and shit like that. So, wind towers. We find out. You can go look right now between MK Ultra and all the different work they've done. The sound. I mean, not infrasound, just low frequency, 6 hertz, 7 hertz, 8 hertz, just ELF technology, electronic low frequency, and that can be not just towers. Now think about it. We got cell phones.
Right.
Imagine frequencies being tailored for your brain. Sounds conspiracy as shit. But there's
It sounds like it, but it's really not. Like, they do that shit.
Yeah, well, and it's out there too. Like the papers on the devices and the papers on the frequencies and what they do. And then you got Lieutenant Thomas Bearden, who does he's done a lot of work on a lot of this stuff actually that I quite enjoy, especially that energy weapon stuff he discusses. And then ELF is some of that technology. Sorry, I got to put this on. Where was I?
You talking about low ELF
Electromagnetic
technology?
frequency.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so that could be in your phone. Yeah, so our government's way ahead of the curve here. Way ahead of the curve. Do you think? Well, shit. Like I said, I brought up Operation Pegasus. Operation Pegasus is one that has to do with time travel. Portal. There's a guy. Dan, maybe I can find his. You'll see if you look him up on YouTube. He talks about Operation Pegasus stuff too. But if they use, let me ask you this: if they used the mirrors at the North Pole, where would we use them to get the same effect?
Alaska?
South Pole. But
Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking of cold places. I don't know.
It's cold. No, it's good enough. My point being is, think about that. So you've also heard about hell, we could jump to here since we're in Antarctica. That's what we're going to do by association. Since we said Antarctica, sorry, you got that ice cube facility, right?
Okay, say that again. You cut out for a minute. Say that again.
Yeah, I know. So I had a phone call. Anyway, we got the ice cube facility down there, and they were talking about, there was just somebody on, I think it was the Sean Ryan podcast, and he was specifically a contractor there, and he talks about it being a directed energy weapon. And the government says it's oh God, the bees everywhere. It's seriously, there's like 7 of them here. So if you see me run, keep everybody entertained. Anyway.
Are you allergic?
No, I'm scared. That's allergic enough. I don't like pain. Come on, man. So, the government says it's a scientific facility used to detect I think it's neutrinos, and he says it's a directed energy weapon. Well, could it be based on Tesla's?
Yeah, I guess it could be.
What could it be used for? You could use to take down UAP, because I still know we have programs that do.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure they're not just sitting idly by waiting for one to randomly crash.
Maybe. No, they're not. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, not only do they track them, probably can bait the bait. Well, not that probably. They can bait them.
Yeah.
They probably know exactly what they've had it for a minute. Satellite. What kind of satellite do you think tracks them? Do you think it's FLIR or IR?
I don't know. I guess
maybe. I don't know.
Maybe both.
Maybe. Do you think there's any good guys here? You think they're all bad?
No, I don't think they're all bad.
When did you start seeing UAP? When did you first see them?
I started seeing them in 2017 is when I first really started paying attention and seeing them.
Yeah, I pay attention now. Well, not anymore. I'm not really give a crap anymore if I see them again. Fuck them. I mean, I'm not mad at them or nothing. Like, we still hang out, but we just ain't besties no more. So, actually, I guess we kind of are, right? We had my break off. And I just get like that because it's so much all the time for me.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking about it and doing it. I just need to get back into it. And I actually miss it. But sometimes life. So, all right. Hey, we did it. We got 30 minutes again today,
Yes.
right? So we try to start. Here we're going to start trying to do that every day. And as we do it, we'll get better at it and more prepared. And we'll also do some non-live content. And I may not, like I said, this is a beautiful spot and I'm grateful to be here. I don't know if this is necessarily my spot. My roommates are more like from old school. So like I'm the voice of reason here. And I mean that. Like, so, and that kind of scares the piss out of me sometimes. And so I may do that veterans in crisis thing too or whatever. But like, I'll just keep going live from wherever. It doesn't matter. I literally, it's so pathetic. I like think my military stuff, 2 suitcases, 3 of them, just my clothes and my mobile studio that I've always took on trips with me too. So I was prepared. I had my go bags, all my camera gear and all this. I'm like, all right, but I haven't got any of it out yet. I'm just on my phone because I don't know. Maybe I'm in my another liminal space,
Yeah.
another liminal space.
It's a transition period.
Always for me, man. Always. So I'm just trying to keep my shit together, I guess. Not make stupid choices.
Yeah, that's important. That's good.
Yeah. So do me a favor, everybody, if you're watching this, subscribe, like, retweet. Go check out my Twitters. Yeah, that's where I hang out, right? Old Vet Symposium on Twitter. And also UAP Med, Wounded Warrior Project.
And maybe some of your followers have some fun stuff to talk about, then they can send you suggestions for show ideas.
Actually, yeah. Send me suggestions for show ideas, anything you'd like us to discuss, or maybe something we could do that's not live, be one of the first ones. And if you would like to just actually, I have no problem with this either. If you are an experiencer or if you're somebody who would like to discuss this topic at all in any way, you're welcome on here to talk about it. I just like to talk about the topic, and celebrities or not, people in the know or not, excuse me, if you've had an experience especially, I'd like to hear about them. We can put them here. And, you're always welcome, especially as shorts. If you want to tell your story, you always can use my channel in shorts. Me and Mariah make sure it goes on there.
Yeah,
this is how Mariah and I became millionaires.
Yep.
How many followers, how many subscribers now we got? 7?
Maybe.
We said further reason says my first time really noticing was a large steer in waist deep water on a clear night, moved to the shore, then move away around 2015. That's wild. Is that Ryan?
Yes.
Yeah, man. So we got one viewer, and it's my team.
Hell yeah.
You're the man, Ryan. You're the man. We need to set him up so he can run chat too. I know there's a way he can run chat on YouTube or however you do that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
All we need now is my mom, and we're good.
If I could get my mom on board, that would be awesome.
My mom keeps trying to. She's like, "Where? I haven't seen you on Facebook." It's because I haven't figured out how to reconnect it. I don't know what the hell's going on with that stuff. So, but I'm actually going to start too. I got kind of into it today. I need to start posting a little more on my Twitter, like some of my different content, or like different things that I'm researched and working on. Like I haven't stopped researching. People assume like I'm gone. No, I just keep reading, researching, and I just even worse about not talking about it, not putting it out there. And that's why it's so easy for me to just go from one, like literally 6 degrees of separation from one thing in a UAP topic to something completely different because it's like, I think they're all connected, man. It's all because of that consciousness connection. Our government knows what UFOs are. Well, not what they are. Let's say the tech they have, the versions of their tech, they utilize that. And they know that because of that, they got time travel, all these other keys, how they connect, all this stuff. What do you think, before we go, I want to ask you one more question. What do you think the Greys are?
What do I think the Greys are?
What do you think? Yeah. Do you think good, bad?
I think they're okay. I think they're good. I don't necessarily think they're bad, but I don't know. I don't get like a bad vibe, a bad feeling like when I'm talking about them or like when I read about them or anything. So to me, like that's what I go off of a lot of times. Like if something gives me chills or like gives me goosebumps or something, you know. I don't get a bad vibe when I talk about them, so I think they're all right.
What if they're like worker bees, like AI bios, doing
Yeah.
the bidding of something from another dimension?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know
I-
if I really like they could just be like a projection of consciousness from another dimension, you know?
Hey, that's pretty killer. Jason Wild on Twitter, he actually put it way better than I could say it right now. I'm not even going to try. So go check it out. I retweeted it. He talks about the hologram theory, like the projection, right? What if
Yeah.
we are their vessel and they're experiencing humanity through us? And the means of doing that are the craft, the way, the tool, that what, you know, the device that use for. So it's a whole thing. You should go read it because
I
I'll
will.
butcher it. And I don't, it just is, right? We need to get better about putting links in here, like stuff we talk about. So that's on my end too, my fault. But we're gonna get the blame on Mariah.
Yes.
Your fault, Mariah.
I'll take it.
So we'll get better at that. I know for sure when we do the shows that we put together that aren't live, we'll make sure that we'll have links. But I know most people go back and put links afterwards of what they talk about, so we probably should start doing that. Ryan, if you know, you're here, brother. If you see anything I talk about and you know where that stuff is, throw a link to it in, you know, give it to Mariah. We'll throw a link in here.
Yes.
Listen to me acting like I'm their boss. They pay me, right? So whatever. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Hey, check out again Wounded Warrior Project and anything that's alternate for veterans, man. That's cool stuff. So we're gonna call it quits right now before it starts raining and starting to. Ow! I got stung. I knew it.
That's a sign.
Oh man. All right, I'm out. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Shane.
Hey, thanks for showing, Ryan. Bye, Mariah.